It has been 10 months since the world was shocked at the announcement. Matthew Perry found dead in his Pacific Palisades home. And tonight, the investigation has taken a major step forward. And Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo is here live with the latest. Tim.
And David, the U.S. attorney says Matthew Perry's substance abuse problems started in an unscrupulous doctor's office and ended with a street dealer, with his personal assistant helping enable his addiction at every turn. The DEA describes the 5 people charged in connection with Matthew Perry's death as greedy and reckless.
In the end, these defendants were more interested in profiting off Mr. Perry than caring for his well-being.
Facing the most serious charges, 41-year-old Jasveen Senga, dubbed the ketamine queen, who wore a green Nirvana hoodie and purple hair while pleading not guilty in court today. She's accused of supplying the fatal doses that killed Perry last fall, using a broker as a middleman to provide Perry 50 vials of the drug for a whopping $11,000. A licensed physician, Dr. Salvador Plasencia, with the help of another doctor who formerly owned a ketamine clinic, is accused of charging the Friends actor significantly more, $55 grand for half as many vials.
He wrote in a text message in September 2023, quote, "I wonder how much this moron will pay."
We spoke to another patient of Dr. P, as he calls himself, who wanted to remain anonymous. She noticed a number of red flags, like rarely seeing him in person, instead simply texting symptoms to him.
He quickly got back to me and told me what painkillers and medications he was going to prescribe to me, with very, very few questions in between.
Dr. P's attorney admits the doctor did provide ketamine to Perry, but also says he followed best medical practices.
If you look at the timeline and you look at the facts, Dr. P was not involved in the events leading up to Matthew Perry's tragic death.
The DEA alleges Dr. P personally injected Perry with ketamine without proper safety equipment, including in a car in a Long Beach parking lot. Then after Perry's death, he tried to cover up his involvement.
Defendant Plasencia falsified medical records and notes to try to make it look like what he was doing was legitimate.
Retired DEA Special Agent in Charge Bill Bodner believes that's some of the most damaging evidence.
It's outside the scope of medical necessity, and then it's, to be honest, then that doctor just becomes nothing more than a drug dealer on the corner.
Finally, Perry's live-in assistant, Kenneth Iwamasa, was allegedly at the center of it all, working with both the licensed doctor and the so-called ketamine queen to help Perry acquire the drugs, while all those suppliers privately bragged about how much money they were making.
That just shows, evil. That is clearly not a medicinal, text. That is a text of an opportunist who just wants to make money.
And the feds also say that Senga, that so-called ketamine queen, was aware of the dangers of ketamine because she sold the drug to another man back in 2019 who died of an overdose that same day, and her family even reached out to her that day. Today, that judge revoked her bond, and she remains in jail. David?
Tim, thank you.